Hello, everyone. My name is Sabrina Graham, also known as Mrs. Perfect Credit, and I am the founder and CEO of Excelling Credit LLC. And today I am going to empower you to learn the Spark method. Fuel your business by mastering credit. A little bit about me. I'm originally from Florida and I currently reside in Texas. I educate you to go from good credit to excellent credit so that you can leverage it to buy a new home, to start your business, and to generate wealth. I also own multiple businesses, including real estate, and I achieved that rare perfect credit score. And as you can see there, I've reached the perfect credit multiple times. I pulled down these two to show that at one point I was at 847 and I just needed those points, which I finally got to hit that perfect 850 credit score. And then there was another occasion where my credit score had dropped, as you can see, all the way down to 768. But I knew what to do and how to fix it. And that caused me to get an additional 82 points, which I hit that perfect credit score again. Let's take a look at our session roadmap. As you can see, we've already finished the welcome and introduction, and I'm wrapping up as I get ready to show you the session roadmap. So we're about 75% done with that. And then next, we're going to go into the power of credit. And I am going to talk to you about the power of credit and how you can leverage it to fuel your business. And then we're going to get into the Spark method, where I'm going to go deep into breaking down the Spark method and how it can help you to master your credit. And then finally, we'll have my final thoughts where I give you a summary, thank you for joining, and provide my contact information. Let's talk about the power of credit. Believe it or not, your credit is an untapped resource. A lot of people say, get out of debt, stay away from it. But for me, I've learned that I can leverage it to get the things that I need to start my business to generate wealth. You get so many funding opportunities with your credit. I remember when I first was starting a business and I got my business plan together, because that's what they say, get your business plan together. I went to the bank and I'm super excited, full of hope. And I'm like, here's my business plan. Can you give me startup funding? And they said, no. And then they said, but maybe we can help you. What's your personal credit like? I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead, run it. And they came back and said, no, my personal credit was not so well as well. So I didn't get funded, and that business went to the side and was put on shelf because I didn't have business credit, and also my personal credit wasn't good enough to be able to fund my business. But I will say, once I got to excellent credit, the doors of opportunities swung open. I've had so many opportunities, and I was able to fund my business. I was able to buy property so I can go with my real estate business. This is another business I created. I was able to fund it, and I was able to co-author a book with the legendary Les Brown, right? I was able to fund some other businesses as well. But you don't have to believe me or take my word for it. Let me give you some examples. The first one is Damon John. Most of you know him from FUBU. A lot of people know him also from the Shark Tank, right? But did you know that when he first started out, he utilized a lot of his credit cards to fund the startup of the business, to buy a lot of fabrics and clothing and stuff like that so he can get his business started. And yes, he did go into debt, but look at him now. And next, I wanted to talk about Sarah Blakely. She's someone else who actually used her credit card to trademark her company, which is called Sphinx. She trademarked it with her credit card, and that's a whole nother subject for another time about the power of a trademark. It's an asset to your business, but she was able to do that. And eventually, I believe it's in 2021, she brought on another group who acquired a majority stake in the business. And at that point, the company was valued at over $1 billion, right? And then we have, of course, Larry Page and Sergey Brin. They are the co-founders of Google, and they actually financed like the purchase of essential equipment, servers, hard drives, all with their personal credit. And that led them into creating Google. So lots of examples out there. I just wanted to list those few, but there is so much power in credit. And so as we move along on our session roadmap, you can see we just finished the power of credit and how you can leverage it to fuel your business. Next, we're going to talk about the SPARK method, and we're going to do a deep dive to go through the acronym and help you master your credit. Let's talk about the SPARK method. Have you ever been in a situation where your car battery dies? I know I have. And you turn the key and nothing. So frustrating. And it just won't start. But then you call up your family member or a friend or someone pops up and they pull out those jumper cables and they go and connect them from their car to your car battery, and suddenly, boom, your engine whirs back to life. That one spark of energy makes all the difference. Well, your financial journey is just like that car. If your credit isn't where it needs to be, it doesn't mean you're stuck. It just means you need a spark to get things moving again. And that's exactly what I'm going to give you today. SPARK stands for S, set your credit goals. P, pay on time consistently. A, analyze your credit reports. R, reduce credit utilization. And K, know your credit score. When you apply these 5 steps, it's like connecting the jumper cables to your financial future. The letter S in the SPARK method is set your credit goals. Would you start your business without a plan? Well, the same thing with your credit. Start with your goals and plan it out. So my question is, what's your goal? Are you trying to reach above an 800 credit score? Are you looking to get a startup loan for your business? Are you looking to purchase property? What is your credit goal? And then you can work on a plan to reach that goal. Now, Les Brown says, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. I didn't always have a perfect credit score. My credit was really bad, to the point that when we got our first mortgage, we ended up with a balloon loan, facing the possibility of losing our house in 5 years if we didn't pay it off. And that's when I knew I had to be better with my credit so I can refinance my loan and don't have that worry of losing our home. And so that's why I started this credit journey. And I didn't start great, but I started and became great. Let's talk about the letter P in the SPARK method. Pay on time consistently. I always say, pay your bills on time, all the time, every time. Know that your payment history makes up 35% of your credit score. So if you mess this up, this can impact your score by up to 100 points, and it can stay on your credit report for up to 7 years. Now, you can bounce back over the years, but just know they'll still be able to see that on your credit report for up to 7 years before it drop off. So you want to make sure you do not miss this. Now, I know life be life, and sometimes it happened to me many times where I had to maybe miss a payment. And when I first started with my credit journey, I would just miss the payment and just pay it whenever. But I've learned that communication is the key when life happens. You have to communicate with your creditors. Let's talk about the letter A in the SPARK method. Analyze your credit report. Do you review your business financial statements? If not, you should be. It includes key information to let you know if you're getting a profit in your business. And if not, you can look at the ways that you can tweak it to make sure that you start getting a profit. So our credit report is like that business financial statement, but it's for our credit. What you're going to be looking for is common errors that kill your score, like incorrect balances, duplicate accounts, fraudulent accounts. And then you also want to look at it because it's going to feed into your action steps when you set up your plan. Let's talk about the letter R in the SPARK method, reduce credit utilization. And what credit utilization is simply how much credit you use versus your total available limit. So let's say you have a credit line of $10,000 and you have used $5,000 of the credit line. So your credit utilization is 50%. Now, know that the credit utilization makes up 30% of your credit score. So it's important that you get this right as well. And it is standard that you should keep it under 30%. But I recommend you keep it under 10% to get you over that 800 credit score hump. And to reach a perfect credit score, I recommend you keep it under 5%. This was a key factor for me reaching that perfect credit score. And just know, if you really think about it, this credit utilization is 30% of your credit score. And earlier we talked about pay your bills on time. That was 35%. So the two of these together, that makes up 65% of your credit score. So that's why I'm focusing on these two items, because that is the bulk of your credit score. You have to get these right to master your credit. Let's talk about the last letter in the SPARK method. It's the letter K. Know your credit score. So, what's your credit score? Now, you may have that answer. So, my follow up question to you is, when was the last time you checked your credit score? It could have been like 750 last year, but what is it this month? Did it go to 700? Did it get to 800? Because it's very important for you to know that it can fluctuate month to month. And if you don't know what your credit score is, find out what your credit score is. And you need to know what affects your credit score. So when you're checking your credit score, I recommend you checking it at least monthly. Therefore, you start to learn and understand what affects your credit score. Plus, if it all of a sudden drop one month, then that may signal you that you could be experiencing fraud or something happened. Maybe you missed a payment and didn't even realize it. And so your credit score can kind of let you know what's going on in your credit report, so you know to check that. We are at the last review of our session roadmap. We just finished talking about the SPARK method. And remember, it's S, set your credit goals. B, pay on time consistently. A, analyze your credit reports. R, reduce credit utilization, and K, know your credit score. Master these 5 steps, and your credit will become an engine for wealth. And remember, credit isn't just about what you qualify for, it's about the doors it will open. And so, on our roadmap, we are heading towards my final thoughts. I'll give you a summary. Of course, thank you for joining and give you my contact information. Here's my final thoughts. John Hope Bryant says, nothing changes your life more other than God and love than moving your credit score 120 points. And let me tell you, when I got to excellent credit, I had this new swag about me. Yeah, I remember when I walked into a car dealership, the finance manager came out and said, give her whatever she wants. She's qualified. And I walked out with a 0% interest rate for 7 years. And so, what I want you to do today is take action. Pick one Spark step from the Spark method and commit. Either you do the letter S and set your credit goals. You may say, I already have credit goals. Well, you may want to look at it, see if you need to tweak it. Maybe you do a new credit goal. Or go with the letter P, pay on time consistently. You may say, you know what? I'm not good with paying my bills on time. So go online or make a phone call and make that payment today. Or pick up the phone and speak to your creditor and work on a payment plan. See what you guys can do to get you back on track. Maybe you need to go with the A. Analyze your credit report. When is the last time you pulled it? Maybe this is your item that you do today. Pull your credit report or look at it. Maybe you haven't really analyzed it. Take a look at your credit report. You may say, I already done that. Then I would say definitely do the letter R, and that is to reduce credit utilization. Look at the amount that you owe compared to the limit that's on the card or the loan, and look at ways that you can reduce your credit utilization. Now, I do have a YouTube video that helps you understand how to calculate your credit utilization rate, and that's going to help you out. Or, last but not least, the letter K. Know your credit score. You may say, you know what? I don't know what my credit score is. So I recommend today, check with your bank, check with your creditor, see if they offer free credit monitoring. If not, you can go to my YouTube channel and I have a way for you to find out your credit score for free. Or if you want the bells and the whistles, you can pay for it as well. But there's a lot of free options out there. So pick one, do it, and commit to it. Okay. And then last, stay in touch. Add this to your action plan as well. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a lot of information out there. I actually do giveaways on my YouTube channel as well. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and then email me. I want to hear all about your credit journey. Put that as part of your action steps as well. Email me, let me know how you're doing. Email me if you want to join my group accountability calls where I help you to get unstuck, answer questions, look at your plan, and make sure you stay on track to reach your credit goals. I want to thank you for joining this summit and listening to my session. My name is Sabrina Graham, also known as Mrs. Perfect Credit. And remember, credit isn't just a number. It is a tool to create wealth. Use it wisely and watch your business soar to new heights. Thank you.